Well, hello and welcome to the fifth part of this current video series documenting this garden renovation that I've been on. Last week you saw me finish off the paved section underneath the pergola that I built the week before. So this week I'm going to be excavating all the old turf and creating a new lawn area, plus new pathway areas, all the steel divides, the sub base of the pathways, and then a decorative stone that's going on top. So if that's going to be of any interest to you, keep watching. So as you can see, I've now cleared off all of the old turf. I've taken level readings going across the garden here, so that is nice and level that way. So all the compacted soil that's down there, when I put my new soil on before putting the turf on and the fertilizer, that's all nice and flat that way. And I've kept the existing fall that's slightly running back away from the house as it was before, just to aid with drainage. So what I've got left in terms of clearing the lawn section, the beds, I've got the old Titan breaker out. I'm going to break out this section of concrete here. I've got another section there, and there's a bit of a random piece in the middle of the lawn here. So we get those broken out, and then what I'll do next is shape the curved flower beds, which will be going here in between the stone pathways. So I've just set up this string line that's going to determine the pathway this side and the new lawn this side. So I've measured evenly off the garage wall, and this is all going to be Panda Stone, and that's going to angle over there towards the pergola. So it just gives the lawn a bit of a funky shape. So yeah, let's get that dug out. And that's the first section of the pathway dug out. Good morning. Today we're going to be getting the sub base down for this pathway area here. First of all, there's going to be a layer of non-woven geotextile membrane cut, laid in, then the MOT type one, probably about 100 mil or so, compacted in. So let's get going with that. Well, that changed all of a sudden. Got lots of hail coming down. Rain and wind. I'm going to take a bit of cover, I think. So I've just been piecing together this core 10 steel garden edging. It's going to obviously separate from the stone pathway from the turf. Sometimes the best place to be is just inside the van on a day like this. Oh, I've stopped and started so many times today. It's just, yeah, it's just pointless, to be honest. Oh dear. So just working my way along. The sun's out again now, so trying to make most of it, filling this up, and then I've got that second piece of edging to put in a minute, getting this up to level. So that's this second flower bed, edging all in and secured. See, string line again, the appropriate heights that I've laser leveled off across on that side. So I can get this filled in with some topsoil now. Lovely. And that's that flower bed all done now. Something else ticked off of this job. So the final steel edging strip is in. It's got a little bend on it. Customer didn't want anything too uniform in his garden, so we've kind of angled the flower bed there. We've come across there, and it comes back this way, plays against the shape of the pergola, which is the 5-post pentagony kind of shape. So yeah, now all we've got to do is load all this topsoil in, all the stone in. The last thing will be the turf. So coming along now. So it's raining again, what a surprise. Anyway, got to carry on. So I've just started loading in this Panda Stone on top of this MOT Type 1 sub base. So it's something I can do without churning up this lawn while I'm waiting to get the topsoil down. It won't be dry the next couple of days, so I'll get that done then. Meanwhile, concentrate on this stone. Okay, so as you've just seen, I've got what I'm going to call the base layer down. That's all been rolled and compacted. Now I've got about 90 mil to make up here from the ground level as it was to the top of this core 10 steel edging. So I'm doing that in about 20 or 30 mil layers. There's no point putting in a 90 mil layer and then trying to compact it. It's just going to churn out, it's going to clog up in the roller. So you're best off, like I do with the MOT Type 1 sub base, do it in layers. Compact it. It takes I wouldn't even say it takes longer. It's just a better procedure. You get the better compaction. So a little tip, do it in smaller layers, roll it over and build your way up. Now I'm going to be going up to about 20 mil from the top of this. There's a little ridge at the top of this core 10, and that's going to allow me for then when I put my turf on, which is going to be about 20-25 mil. It's going to mean that when the customer mows the lawn, the blades aren't going to be hitting this metal edging. It's just going to sit slightly above it, which is what you want. You don't want to be dinging your mower blades on the top of this core 10. So I'm not going to show you the rest. The next thing you'll see is this fully up to the level that I need. Once I get nearer the level, I'm going to be running my level across, because these are perfectly level with each other, the top of this edge to the top of this edge, and then I can start bringing the level in. So we've got a nice flat surface ready for the turf to go down in a couple of days time once it comes into my supplier. It's a bit nippy today. It's a frozen windscreen today, so the toes are feeling it at the moment. I just need to see that sun coming down. At least it's dry. That's the main thing. It's one of them nippy mornings. So yeah, keeping moving always helps. So all the soil is now in. It's all been compacted, rolled, leveled across that way, following the gradient down towards the pergola area. All that's left to do now is to create a fine tilth on top. Basically, going to get a rake, break up the surface ever so gently, just to give the turf something to sort of bite into, as it were, like a scratch coat, before that's laid in a couple of days. I'm also going to sow some fertilizer, some pre-turfing fertilizer seeds in there, let that work its way into the soil over the next couple of days, and then that'll be all ready for the turf to be laid. Good morning, last day on the job. Today is turfing. I've just gone to pick it all up. I've got some plants to plant in that flower bed here that the customer's got. I'm leaving a gap there. I've got a couple of dogwood. I've got a yellow or a golden one and a red one. There's an orange fire one coming. So we're leaving a gap for that. I'm going to get that done first, then we're going to get all the turf laid, show you that process, and then we'll show you the finished job. Sky is absolutely beautiful. Perfect day for this, so let's crack on. So that is the new lawn laid. You've seen me water it. I've given it a good soak. I always ask my customers for the first 2 weeks to give it a good soak. 30 minutes in the morning before sunrise, 30 minutes in the evening when the sun goes down, and then for the following 2 weeks, just in the evening, a good soaking, just so those roots can really take the soil underneath. I got that fertilizer I mix into the soil in the tilth. You saw me plant these earlier. We got some winter flowering heathers, we've got Pyrrhus, more heathers, and then we've got the golden dogwood, we've got the red dogwood, and we're just leaving the space there when the customer's orange or amber coloured dogwood comes. So we're almost there. Lovely oak pergola, if I do say so myself. I've got the planter, I've got a couple more bags of this Panda Stone finish coming here. I was just short on the bulk bag, so I'm just waiting for that to turn up, then I can do everything to wash down here, garden be ready to hand over to the customer, and I've got a good bit of tidying up and washing down to do, so I'll carry on with that whilst I'm waiting for the Panda Stone to turn up. And there we have it, all the stone is now in, everything's been washed over, grass has been soaked again, I've cleaned off all the existing patio, got the flower bed there as we saw earlier on. Customer's going to plant these in their own time, so that's fine. We've got the custom built oak pergola, paving underneath, we've got the oak raised planter, and then the first thing I did, which feels quite a while ago now, I've just given that a soak over, got the concrete base with the sleeper retainer, so we've got the rest of the Panda Stone down the edge there, tying it all together. There's going to be a shed being built on that by another company in a couple of weeks time, so I'm going to let that grass grow in, and say it's got to be soaked morning and night for the next 2 weeks, and then night time only for 2 weeks after that, and that'll start knitting together lovely. That's me done on another project for a customer. They're very happy. I'm sure you will agree that the difference is quite a difference. So yeah, this one's all wrapped up now, and I'm happy with everything that's gone on here. It's been quite a good challenge in many different ways, lots of different things going on with the woodwork and the turfing and the planting. So yeah, it's been a good one. Next project for me is an aquascape ecosystem pond. It's going to be a raised pond, which is something quite different for me. It's going to have some stone wall in with the rocks I normally do in the background for the waterfall. So stay tuned for that. If you'd like anything like this building in your garden, then I say I'm based in Stumpton in the Fareham area on the south coast of Hampshire. Give me a call, and yeah, I'll be happy to come around and give you a quote and get building for you. Until then, see you on the next one.